Everyone is so busy these days, but when I get home from work, I still want beautiful, delicious food, and I want it quick. So what I've done is come up with the most incredible Italian feast, a beautiful mega sandwich, 2 killer salads, and dessert in well under 30 minutes. So I'm going to make the most beautiful Italian sandwich made with focaccia and marinated pickled vegetables. I'm going to serve that with a great salad of dressed mozzarella in homemade pesto and a little bit of chili flakes. And then a batter of cured meats with a remoulade, that shredded pear and celeriac dressed with the mustard and olive oil. Absolutely delicious. And then I make a beautiful dessert of granita, blitzed up ice cubes made into snow with vanilla and lemon zest and mint, and then I serve that with citrusy fruits like lime, lemon and pink grapefruit. All of that in well under 30 minutes. Happy days. OK, so if you want all of that beautiful Italian feast, then you've got to get your head in the 30-minute meal frame of mind. You've got to get your processor ready with your grater and slicer attachment. I need my wet cloth under the board so it doesn't move. I need an oven on 150 Celsius, 300 Fahrenheit. I need a shelf clear in my freezer. And the first job I'm going to do is a beautiful Italian granita. It's brilliant. It takes a couple of minutes to do. It feels like a treat. It's really healthy. And it's basically like a frozen ice dessert. So, first things first, get yourself a pre-bought pack of ice, and you want to half fill your processor, whatever size it is, half fill it. Like that. And then in that ice, it's going to turn into like a snow, but I want to scent it with some other flavours. So first thing I'm going to do is some mint. I want the zest and juice of 1 lime and 1 lemon. This is going to give it a fresh, sort of zingy flavour. And the lime. So that takes a second. And then I'm going to put some vanilla. You can use vanilla extract or this paste you can get in good supermarkets. I wouldn't use the essence because it's not actually real. So that goes in. And then the magic bit. Just let it process until it turns into snow. And then I want to add about 3 tablespoons of sugar, just regular caster sugar, just to give it a slight sweetness. 2 or 3 tablespoons, just like that. Every time I do this, it's always bizarrely exciting. What's amazing is just by whizzing up that ice cubes to basically a snow, you've kind of ground in that zest and that mint and the vanilla. It's smelling the whole room with those beautiful flavours. Then very quickly, we need to get this snow, and look, it really is like snow, and put it in a big pile on a big platter like that. If there's any kind of big bits of ice, just take them out. But the processors do a really good job. So there you go. Let's just put this, flatten it like that, straight into the freezer. That can go in there. Next up, I'm going to do a lovely remoulade and prosciutto platter. I'm using, sort of the hero of this dish is this little bad boy here. Celeriac. It's in all the supermarkets and hardly anyone buys it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use half of this. What I do is just remove the end like this. The amount of actual vegetable you get for your money is pretty good value as well. Going to half it carefully first. Just hands out the way, cut down it like that. This I'll use another day. It keeps fairly well. Once you've cut it in half, you can kind of see the skin you've got here. You can absolutely use a peeler if you want, but it sort of takes quite a long time. Just use your knife and just follow that natural line, almost like a pineapple. Follow that natural line. It's not hard. Like, even if you had rubbish knife skills, just sort of chip and hack. you know, even if you were going to chip and hack like that, you know, it's still quicker and probably you don't lose your patience. And just cut off any sort of dark bits or skin, and you're left with this. So I'm going to half that, and you could either box grate that, or I'm going to use my processor. So get your coarse grater attachment, whack it on here. So processor going, cut these celeriac, rattle it through. So that's the celeriac grated. Then just take a small handful of parsley. That can go in next. At the same time, I want about half a chilli. That can go in as well. And then get yourself 1 or 2 nice pears. Not super ripe, but it's nice to have a little bit of a sort of sourness to it and a bit of crunch. So put your pear in there as well. And then you're laughing. Any sort of big chunks of stuff that didn't get dealt with properly, just put to one side. So that's celeriac. But you can see what happened. Basically, you get these beautiful sort of matchsticks there, and the pear. And the pear's really good in this. It's got a sweetness and an acidity to it. The parsley's kind of mashed up a bit, and most of the chili's mashed up a bit. We just got to bring that together. We're going good olive oil, good seasoning of salt. I'm going to use 2 mustards. I'm going to use a little bit of French mustard, just for that kind of sweet kind of bigness. So I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to use whole grain. And whole grain mustard with this salad is just so good. So a nice heaped teaspoon of whole grain mustard goes in there as well. And then just a swig of white wine or cider or red wine vinegar. About 2 tablespoons goes in. But we'll taste that again, just a little bit more olive oil. About 4 or 5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And then all you've got to do is get your hands in there and just give it a good old mix up and just dress it. And of course, you could swap this for carrots, you know, cabbage, like the old coleslaw. Have a taste, really important. Is there enough salt? You know, is there enough vinegar? You know, does it need more chili? It's so good. It's just a great combination. So we got the remoulade done. What I want to do now is put it together in such a way that it's got style and sort of attitude. I'm going to pair it with some cured meats. I've got prosciutto here, right? So what I'm going to do is pick it up, put it in the middle of a beautiful board. And that's why you need these lovely sort of chopping boards. And then I'm going to put it together with this lovely prosciutto. And just when you put it on the board, absolutely unchefly like, but just let it kind of wave and fall down naturally instead of going flat and sort of, I don't know, trying to arrange it. Just let it kind of, let gravity do the work for you. For me, it just makes it far more beautiful. You can get a few parsley leaves here and just rip up a few parsley leaves and let them sort of fall naturally from a height, you know, and a little drizzle of olive oil, quality olive oil, all over the board. And there you go. That is our second dish, a beautiful remoulade and prosciutto platter. Look at it. The next thing I'm going to do is a mega sandwich, mega sandwich. I've bought some pretty good focaccia from the supermarket. It's all right. If I reheat it nicely, so I'm just going to put it into some greaseproof like this. The oven's kind of hot by now. I'm going to reheat that for 5 minutes. I'll show you a little way to make this tastier. So I'll whack that in the oven for about 5 minutes just to get nice and hot. Don't forget, I've already done the remoulade platter, the focaccia just needs heating through, and the granita is chilling in the freezer. I've got just enough time to make the pesto and mozzarella salad and a beautiful fresh pickle for my focaccia filling. I'm making an Italian-inspired feast in well under 30 minutes. I've already made a gorgeous remoulade and prosciutto platter. The focaccia is heating in the oven and the granita is chilling in the freezer. The next thing is to make homemade pesto for the mozzarella salad. Okay, pesto. I'm going to make it homemade today. It is really quick, and once you realise how quick it is, you probably won't buy the jarred stuff again. But the jarred stuff is good, but it can only ever hit a 7 out of 10. To get 10 out of 10, watch this. So, I've got some basil. One nice, generous bunch of basil. You know, if you're using the potted stuff like this, you can get it in bunches, of course. Roughly this much. I'm not even going to take it off the stalks because the stalks are soft. So bang that in there. And then secondly, 1 pack or 100 grams of pine nuts. Now, some chefs toast it. I disagree. When I was shown to do this by a nonna, we go untoasted to get the creaminess and the kind of ooziness instead of the nuttiness, you know, which is quite a strong flavour. So we're not even needing to do that. And then fresh Parmesan. Don't ever buy the pre-grated fresh Parmesan. It stinks. It was enough to put me off Parmesan. Parmesan is an elegant cheese, and you want about 75 grams, 100 grams, roughly, of Parmesan going in there as well. And then just wazz it up. Now, while that's wazzing up, 1 clove of garlic. Right. Lovely. Beautiful. Right, you need just enough olive oil to loosen it. It could be an olive oil, not an extra virgin, but extra virgin is nice. Stop. Right. Let's have a little taste. Lovely. So what you've got here is a pesto, a paste. And the point of it is you've got that fragrant basil with that salty, rich Parmesan. If it's fresh, it has a different level of flavour. And look at the colour. I mean, it's vivid green, vivid green. So, get yourself a nice platter. Get your mozzarella out. If you go to a decent supermarket, they'll have buffalo mozzarella. It's softer, richer, silkier, you know, and just nicer to eat in a salad than the cow mozzarella, which is sometimes like a, you know, a bouncy ball, you know. So this is good stuff. And then I'm going to take a small proportion of this pesto, and you just want a nice couple of teaspoons on there. Some good olive oil over there. And I'm going to dress the mozzarella in the pesto. And just put them sort of proudly in the middle. By tossing the mozzarella in this pesto, what we're achieving is guaranteed flavour. So if you've got fussy mates, oh, a bit of that and a bit of that. No, you're making sure they get a mouthful of heaven, do you know what I mean? So that's why we're sort of tossing the pesto. I'm going to get some lemons and a grater. From a height, I'm going to just put that zest, just a few little slashes. That'll give it a little fragrance. And then basil, I'm using Greek basil here, which you can get from the supermarkets. If you look at it, it's just skinnier and smaller and slightly prettier, and it's delicate, and it's perfect for this kind of thing. You know, you can grow it dead simple as well in the summer, and just sprinkle that from a height. And this is really just for sort of a freshness and looks as well. And you know what I'm going to do, actually, which I love doing, is dried chilli for some reason. Just a few flakes, I promise, will make all the difference. This is good, I can promise you. All you got to do now is just finish it off with a little olive oil. If you're going to be like getting bread and sticking it in there, just a few, literally, few little drips completes the story. It's just beautiful. Look at that. Utterly a celebration of summer. Really, really good. Right, Right, now for the mega Italian sandwich. Focaccia is nearly done, perfect, hot in the oven. Let's do the filling. It's like a kind of pickle, OK? So it's a combination of wicked things. So I've got, let's have a look in here. We've got peppers, let's have some olives, sun-dried tomatoes, Mr. Caper, let's have some greenies, got some little cornichons. So the old pickle drawer's getting raided. I've got some red and yellow tomatoes there. It's just a combination of beautiful things. So about 4 nice, you know, like a handful of grilled peppers, basically. Olives, you don't really need many. Just a small handful of olives. I've got some black and greens here. Capers, you know, and think of it less as an ingredient and more as a flavouring, OK? Just a teaspoon of these capers. You can get them in oil or like the brine or pickle. So just a teaspoon of those goes in. 6 or so sun-dried tomatoes, and you get that intensity and pungency of flavour. And then cornichon, or gherkins, or in Essex, wallies, as we call them. Just like a little pile. So depending on their size, I'll have 3 or so of these. There you go. But you know what's really nice is like this combination of flavours, right? You know, all the parts come together and make a much more exciting whole. Sweetness, sort of char grilliness, crunchiness, sourness, saltiness. You know, it's all kind of there. A little bit of mint. In actual fact, I'm standing here next to the chilli. I wasn't going to do chilli, but I am now. Just a tiny bit of chilli. So we've got the fresh mint in there. A little bit of chilli first, just some slices. What I do when I only use a bit of chilli, I just plonk it in the salt like that. And it sort of stops it going minging. And then it's there, waiting to be used next time I do a little dish. You learn these things when you're a chilli freak. With the mint, just chop that up roughly, and then just clank it all. There's no right or wrong, just clank it all up, mix it all up. Now, we've got a lot of pickled items here, so I'm going to use, just to give a freshness, and also soak up some of that salt, fresh tomatoes. And you'd be mad not to buy those beautiful, different coloured little cherries. Beautiful. So just, once you've kind of clanked through all of that, put that into the bowl. Have a little taste. Little lemon juice. I just want that lemon juice to bring together the family. Do you know what I mean? Just that acidity, that freshness. It will just extract everyone's flavours. Really, really good. Put in over here. OK, here is our pre-got focaccia. What I want to do is cut this baby in half. The safest way to do that, to make this mega sandwich, is find your halfway point like this and just score, just lightly, all the way around like that. Just to get your... This is like target practice, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to start, you know, caning into this and then you screw it up. All that love and care, and it was a bit of sandwich opening that stitched you up, do you know what I mean? So just score around the outside. And then once you've scored, you'll find it, or you should find it, just use the length of the knife just to kind of effortlessly go through it. Quickly and confidently take it off, like that. So you're left with this hot, steamy surface now. What we want to do that is, while it's hot, let it suck up beautiful flavour, which is going to be in here. So, you know, that's why this lovely little salsa here is going to be so good. And the juice that comes out of it, you know, just move it around. That hot focaccia, which was all right, it was made by someone else. It was never going to be amazing. It's hot, it's fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside. It's warm, so it's sucking up all of that beautiful love, care and attention that you've given it. Things that you could do now is all sorts of different cheeses, all sorts of different cured meats or cooked hams. You know, there's lots of options that you could do right now. I just want to put a little bit of Parmesan on there. It looks like a lot, but it's actually really not. It's probably 40 grams or something. Also, the fact that it's spilling out onto the board a bit is kind of pretty as well. Because again, like the whole point of 30-minute meals is you're plating with attitude. It's looking bold and exciting. And then I'm going to go back to my basil plant and pick some nice big leaves. So just kind of put, you know, a nice load of basil on the top like that. And then over here, just kiss that with a little olive oil so it doesn't dry up. And then again, you can either put a knife underneath it, but whatever you do, you want to go quickly and confidently straight over to here, 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Beautiful. I like getting just a nice big knife, stabbing it in like that, and taking that to the table for your mates. That is a proper sandwich.
This incredible sandwich is looking fantastic. The remoulade and prosciutto platter and the mozzarella and pesto salad are done, and I've got just enough time to finish my granita.
By now, this granita plate is really cold. It's going to hold that freeze as well, so it's going to look after all of this. What I love to do is just serve this with a load of spoons in one side, get myself some citrus. So I've got a lovely pink grapefruit here. Just cut that into wedges, I think. And then, you know, get yourself some halves of lemon there. I've got my lime here. All of this gets squeezed over the granita at the last minute, mixed up, and we just stir it all up. You get the sweet, the mint, the vanilla, all those sort of acids that is just like a beautiful slushy. And then serve that with some yogurt and some raspberries, and this will be the most brilliant little dessert. It looks different. Yogurt, raspberries, beautiful granita, all those citrus flavours. Your kids, your mates, will be feeling like they've been really treated. So there you go, guys, look at that. We've got the beautiful mega sandwich with the cured meats, the remoulade, that beautiful mozzarella salad, and this killer little dessert here. All of that in well under half an hour. Brilliant.